The things we acquire or achieve might give us a temporary feeling of joy, but that feeling fades quickly. When we tie our happiness to external things, we set ourselves up for disappointment. Success, wealth, and material possessions are fleeting. The joy they bring is often short-lived, and then we're left wanting more. We constantly seek something outside of ourselves, thinking it will complete us, but it never does. It's a cycle that never ends. Happiness isn't external. We live in a world where we're often taught to chase things outside ourselves in the hopes of finding fulfillment. We're told that when we achieve certain things, whether it's getting the promotion, buying the car, or going on the perfect vacation, then we'll be happy. We look at others and think they've got it all together, they've achieved success, they must be happy. But here's the truth. Happiness is not something that can be found outside of you. True happiness comes from within. It comes from understanding who you are, embracing your purpose, and making the conscious decision to be content with where you are in the present moment. Happiness is a state of mind that can be cultivated no matter what is happening around you. It's about the choices you make and how you think, how you approach life, and how you connect with your own inner values. Success doesn't guarantee fulfillment. In fact, many people who achieve external markers of success, like a high-paying job, a large house, or public recognition, find themselves feeling empty or dissatisfied once they reach those goals. It's easy to think that success is the answer to all your problems, that once you make it, everything will fall into place and you'll feel complete. But the truth is, success is often fleeting, and it doesn't always bring the inner peace or satisfaction that we expect. When we focus solely on external success, we run the risk of missing the deeper aspects of life that actually bring fulfillment. Sure, a promotion or new car might give you a temporary high, but soon that feeling fades. The sense of accomplishment can disappear as quickly as it arrived, and you're left searching for the next big thing. You might even feel like you're on a treadmill, always running toward the next goal, but never feeling truly satisfied. The pursuit of success, when it's disconnected from a deeper sense of purpose or meaning, can lead to burnout, stress, and frustration. People often chase success thinking it will fill a void or solve all their problems, but they realize too late that the things they thought would bring them joy didn't actually touch the deeper needs of their soul. Fulfillment doesn't come from the external accomplishments or the things you own. It comes from alignment, living in accordance with your values, feeling connected to something larger than yourself, and finding meaning in the everyday moments of life. When we stop looking outside for validation and instead start looking within, we realize that happiness isn't something to be pursued, it's something to be experienced every day in the way we show up for ourselves and for others. When we tie our happiness and sense of self-worth to success alone, we risk losing sight of the things that truly matter. True fulfillment is found not in the external recognition, but in the internal satisfaction that comes from living authentically and making choices that resonate with who you truly are. But the truth is, wearing a mask all the time takes a toll. It's exhausting to constantly pretend to be something you're not, to hide your real thoughts and feelings. Over time, this can lead to feelings of isolation, because even though you may be surrounded by people, you're not truly connecting with them. You're not letting them see the real you. You're stuck in a cycle of performing, of pretending, and it can leave you feeling disconnected, drained, and unfulfilled. The mask people wear is something we all encounter, whether in ourselves or in others. We live in a world where appearances matter, where people often feel the need to present a version of themselves that fits societal expectations. They put on this mask, smiling, acting confident, and showing the world what they believe others want to see. But underneath that mask, there may be a different story unfolding. What others see on the outside is rarely the full picture. The smile, the perfect post on social media, the well put together appearance, those things are only a glimpse of what's really going on inside. It's important to remember that no one is immune to the pressures of life, and everyone has their battles. Just because someone looks happy or has it all together on the surface doesn't mean they're free from challenges. Behind every mask is a person with their own insecurities, fears, and struggles. The more we understand this, the more we can let go of our own masks and allow ourselves to be seen for who we truly are, flaws, vulnerabilities, and all. The weight of pressure is something many people face every day, often without showing it. It's the pressure to succeed, to be perfect, to meet the expectations of others. Society, family, and even our own internal standards can place burdens on us that feel almost unbearable. We are constantly measuring ourselves against others, judging our worth by what we achieve, what we own, or how we appear to the outside world. This pressure can manifest in many ways. in the workplace, in relationships, or even in the constant drive for self-improvement. This mask is not just about hiding struggles, it's often about fear. The fear of vulnerability, the fear of judgment, the fear of not measuring up. Many people wear this mask because they think that showing any form of weakness or imperfection will make them less deserving of love, success, or respect. So they push down their real emotions, their doubts, their anxieties, and they present a facade of happiness and success that they believe will keep them safe from criticism or rejection. The problem is, this pressure can be suffocating. People begin to feel like they are carrying an invisible weight on their shoulders, a weight that grows heavier with each new expectation placed on them. They might wake up every day feeling like they need to prove themselves all over again, that they must perform at their highest level or risk falling short. It's a constant cycle of striving, working, and pushing without ever feeling like it's enough. The fear of failure becomes overwhelming because failure could mean rejection, judgment, or a loss of status. And yet, the reality is, no one can handle this kind of pressure indefinitely. The emotional toll it takes can be enormous. People who feel this weight often experience anxiety, stress, and burnout. They might even begin to lose sight of what they truly want in life because they're so focused on what they think they should want. Over time, it can strip away the joy of living and replace it with a feeling of emptiness, as if they're running on a treadmill and getting nowhere. This pressure, whether it's external or self-imposed, can push people to ignore their own needs. They might sacrifice their health, relationships, or personal happiness just to keep up with the demands they feel are placed on them. The weight of constantly trying to be someone they're not or doing things they don't truly care about can lead to a deep sense of frustration and exhaustion. It becomes a vicious cycle. The more you try to meet the expectations, the more pressure you feel and the harder it becomes to manage it all. What you don't see is the reality that exists beneath the surface of what people show you. In our fast-paced, image-driven world, it's easy to get caught up in the outward appearances of others, the smiles, the success, the perfect moments shared online. But what's hidden behind that curated image is often the real story. People are experts at masking their true emotions, their struggles and their pain, because they fear vulnerability. They fear being judged or misunderstood, so they put on a brave face pretending everything is fine while battling their own personal demons behind closed doors. You don't see the sleepless nights spent worrying about the future. You don't see the doubts creeping in, the moments of insecurity that no one talks about. You don't see the person who might look like they have it all together, but internally they are struggling to keep their confidence intact. You don't see the emotional toll of trying to meet high expectations, the pressure to always be on, always be at your best. What you don't see are the countless sacrifices people make, sacrifices of time, of energy, of their own happiness, just to keep up appearances. Beneath the facade, people are dealing with real life challenges that no one else might ever know about. Relationships might be falling apart, health could be declining, or someone could be silently fighting a battle with mental health. The pain, the fears, the struggles, these are often hidden because they are difficult to share or because people don't know how to ask for help. It's easy to assume someone's life is perfect when you only see the highlights, but the truth is, the majority of people carry burdens that are not visible to the outside world. What you don't see is the complexity of every individual's journey, the highs and lows, the moments of triumph and defeat, the moments of joy and sorrow. Everyone has their own story, and while some of it is shared with the world, so much remains unspoken, quietly carried in the heart. The problem with this mentality is that it's rooted in a belief that external circumstances will bring internal happiness. You think that once you have more, you'll be happy, but you're really just distracting yourself from deeper, more meaningful pursuits. Happiness, peace, and fulfillment aren't found in what you acquire or how much you accumulate. They're found in alignment with your values, in living authentically, and in appreciating what you already have. As the chase for more continues, it can take a toll on your well-being. It can create anxiety, stress, and an overwhelming sense of inadequacy. You start measuring your worth based on how much you have or how much you've achieved, and the pressure to keep up can be exhausting. You lose sight of what truly matters and begin to feel empty even when you have more than you ever thought possible. The illusion of more keeps you stuck in a never-ending cycle, always thinking that something outside of yourself holds the key to your happiness, when the truth is that it's already inside you. This cycle of wanting more is relentless. You reach one goal, and then it's on to the next, as if happiness is always one step away. The moment you achieve something, you start looking for the next thing to fulfill you, to validate your efforts, to prove your worth. This endless pursuit of more can make you feel like you're running in circles, always chasing after something that never quite brings lasting contentment. The rush of acquiring more things or reaching new achievements fades, leaving you with the same empty feeling, and so you push forward, hoping that the next more will finally fill that void. The way we think about ourselves, the way we interpret our challenges, and the way we interact with the world around us all influence our experience of happiness. If we choose to focus on what's going wrong, on what we don't have, or on what others think of us, then we limit our own ability to feel joy. On the other hand, if we make the choice to focus on the positive, to find the lessons in our struggles, and to take pride in the things we've accomplished, we can shift our mindset and experience a much greater sense of happiness. Happiness is a choice. It's not something that just happens to us, nor is it a result of perfect circumstances or the right combination of events in life. We often believe that happiness will come when we achieve a specific goal or when things finally align the way we want them to. But the truth is, happiness is an internal decision, a mindset we can choose every day, regardless of what's happening in the outside world. You have the power to decide how you respond to any situation. The people who are happiest don't necessarily have the easiest lives, nor do they avoid hardship or struggle. Instead, they choose to find meaning in their experiences, to focus on what they can control, and to cultivate a mindset of gratitude no matter the circumstances. Happiness doesn't come from avoiding difficulties, but from how you approach them. It's not about waiting for everything to be perfect or for all the stars to align. It's about deciding to be content even when things are less than ideal. Choosing happiness doesn't mean ignoring the difficulties of life. It's about acknowledging those challenges, feeling the emotions that come with them, and then making the conscious choice to move forward with a positive perspective. It's about taking ownership of your emotions, deciding that you won't let external circumstances control your inner peace, and creating a life where you prioritize your own joy regardless of the chaos that might surround you. Happiness is always within your reach. It's a choice you make every single day. Mastering your inner world means learning to manage your emotions, especially in moments of stress, frustration, or fear. It means not letting your emotional state be determined by outside circumstances. Instead, you develop the ability to stay grounded, to respond with clarity, and to make decisions based on your values rather than your emotional reactions. This takes practice, but with time you can train yourself to remain calm, focused, and in control no matter what's happening around you. Mastering your inner world is not about perfection. It's about building awareness, practicing emotional intelligence, and gaining the power to choose how you react in any given moment. It's about knowing that no matter what the world throws at you, you have the ability to control how you respond, how you feel, and ultimately, how you live your life. Mastering your inner world is one of the most powerful things you can do for yourself. It's about gaining control over your thoughts, your emotions, and your reactions, instead of letting them control you. Most of us spend a lot of time focusing on the external world, on what's happening around us, on the things we can see, touch, and experience in the physical world. But what we often overlook is that our true power lies not in the external circumstances, but in how we manage our inner world. It's also about understanding that your inner world is constantly changing, and that's okay. Emotions like anger, sadness, and anxiety are natural, and they don't need to dictate your entire life. The key is to not let them control you. Instead of suppressing or ignoring these emotions, mastering your inner world means acknowledging them, understanding their source, and choosing how you want to respond. You can choose to feel them, learn from them, and then release them so they don't linger and cloud your judgment. Comparison is the thief of joy. In a world that constantly showcases the best of what people have, do, and experience, it's easy to get caught up in measuring your own life against others. We scroll through social media and we see people living what seem like perfect lives, traveling the world, achieving their dreams, enjoying beautiful relationships. We look at them and wonder why we're not experiencing the same success, happiness, or fulfillment. But here's the thing, the more you compare yourself to others, the less you appreciate your own unique journey. Your thoughts shape your reality. If you constantly focus on what's wrong, what you don't have, or what you fear, that's what you'll attract into your life. On the other hand, when you choose to focus on the positive, on the opportunities in front of you, and on the things you can be grateful for, you begin to shift your entire perspective. Your inner world the thoughts, beliefs, and emotions you carry within you has the power to either hold you back or propel you forward. The reality is, comparison rarely leads to a healthy sense of motivation. Instead, it fosters feelings of inadequacy, self-doubt, and frustration. When you compare your behind the scenes to someone else's highlight reel, it's easy to feel like you're falling short. You start to question your choices, your path, and whether you're doing enough. But in doing this, you fail to recognize the beauty and progress in your own life. You forget that your journey is unique and cannot be fairly compared to someone else's. Every person has their own set of challenges, goals, and experiences, and those things don't always make it to the surface. You may be comparing your life to someone who is hiding their own struggles, or who is at a completely different point in their journey. The truth is, the more you measure your success against others, the less you value your own growth and accomplishments. Instead of celebrating what you've achieved, you focus on what you haven't done yet, or what someone else is doing better. The act of comparison also takes you out of the present moment. When you're constantly looking at what others are doing, you're not living your own life. You're not appreciating what you have, what you've learned, or the unique experiences that have shaped you. By comparing, you miss out on the joys that come from gratitude and self-reflection, and you risk losing sight of your own worth and happiness. You control your destiny. It's easy to feel like life is happening to you, that your circumstances, your past, or the world around you dictate where you're going. But the truth is, you have more power over your future than you might realize. You are the one who decides how you respond to the challenges you face, the choices you make, and the direction your life takes. While you can't control every external factor, you can control how you show up in the world, how you think, and how you take action. Comparing yourself to others only leads to a diminished sense of self-worth because it makes you think that there's something wrong with your life, when in reality, there's nothing wrong with it at all. Everyone has their own path to follow, their own timeline, and their own set of challenges to overcome. Instead of comparing, it's far more empowering to focus on your own growth, to measure your progress based on where you were yesterday, not where someone else is today. Every day you are faced with decisions that will shape your life. From the small, seemingly insignificant choices to the bigger life-changing ones, every action you take has an impact on the trajectory of your journey. The people you surround yourself with, the mindset you choose to adopt, the goals you set, all of these elements play a role in determining where you end up. The path you walk is not determined by fate or by other people's expectations. It is shaped by your decisions, your commitment to growth, and your willingness to take responsibility for your own life. Of course, life throws unexpected events your way. You might face setbacks, hardships, or disappointments that are out of your control. But even in the face of adversity, you still have the power to choose how you respond. You can decide whether you let those challenges define you or if you use them as opportunities for growth. The ability to take ownership of your thoughts and actions is what ultimately determines the direction you will take. Let go of the lie of more. We live in a society that constantly tells us that more is better, that we need more money, more things, more success, more attention, and more validation. The message we receive is that if we just had more, we'd be happier, more fulfilled, and more at peace. But the truth is, the pursuit of more often leads to emptiness because the idea that more will make us whole is a false narrative. Letting go of the lie of more is about releasing the idea that happiness is something you can acquire. It's about embracing gratitude for what you already have and finding contentment in the present moment rather than constantly reaching for something just out of your grasp. The truth is, more doesn't lead to lasting happiness. What leads to fulfillment is acceptance, peace, and understanding that what you have is enough right now. We've been conditioned to equate our worth with what we have, how much we've accomplished, and what we've acquired. But this mindset creates a false sense of happiness. It's easy to believe that if we just had a little more of this or a little more of that, we would finally be happy. But the pursuit of more doesn't address the deeper needs of the soul. True fulfillment doesn't come from accumulating things or climbing higher on the social ladder. It comes from understanding that enough is enough, from being present and finding joy in the things you already have, and from realizing that happiness is not dependent on the external. The more you chase after, the more you realize that the things you acquire or achieve don't bring lasting satisfaction. You get the new car, the bigger house, the promotion at work, and for a moment you feel a sense of joy or pride, but it's fleeting. You quickly find yourself desiring the next thing, the next upgrade, or the next goal. The cycle never ends, and each new more only brings temporary pleasure before you start seeking something else to fill the void. It's a cycle of constant striving without ever truly feeling content. Fulfillment doesn't depend on achieving a specific goal or reaching a certain milestone. It comes from the satisfaction of knowing that you're on a path that aligns with your core beliefs, that you're living authentically, and doing things that resonate with your deeper sense of purpose. It's about being present in the moment and finding joy in the process, not just the end result. When you find fulfillment from within, it doesn't matter what's happening externally because you're at peace with yourself. You no longer need to chase after validation or external rewards to feel complete. When we look to external sources to fulfill us, we put ourselves at the mercy of things that are outside our control. Jobs change, relationships evolve, material possessions lose their shine, and moments of success fade. But when fulfillment is rooted within, it becomes something that we carry with us no matter what is happening in our lives. It's something that comes from knowing who we truly are, understanding our own values, and living in alignment with them. Fulfillment comes from within. It's easy to think that happiness, success, or peace are things that we can find outside ourselves through accomplishments, relationships, or possessions. We live in a world that constantly reinforces the idea that the right job, the perfect partner, or the latest gadget will bring us lasting satisfaction. But the truth is, external circumstances can only bring temporary satisfaction. True fulfillment comes from cultivating a deep sense of contentment, self-worth, and purpose that is not dependent on what's happening around us. True fulfillment also involves embracing the whole of who you are, the strengths, the weaknesses, the successes, and the failures. It's about accepting yourself fully, knowing that you are enough just as you are. The sense of peace and contentment that comes from within is not about being perfect, but about finding peace with imperfection and knowing that you are worthy of happiness and love regardless of external circumstances. Stop looking for external validation. We live in a world that constantly reinforces the idea that we need approval from others to feel good about ourselves. Whether it's through likes on social media, praise from our peers, or acknowledgement from our superiors, there's a constant desire to be recognized, appreciated, and validated by the people around us. But when we rely on external validation to define our self-worth, we're handing over control of our happiness to others. External validation is fleeting. The compliments, the recognition, the praise, they all feel good in the moment, but they don't last. The moment the praise stops or someone criticizes you, that feeling of validation disappears, leaving you feeling empty or insecure. If your sense of self-worth is tied to what others think of you, you're putting yourself in a constant cycle of seeking approval, which can lead to anxiety, self-doubt, and a lack of authenticity. The truth is, the only validation that truly matters is the one that comes from within. When you realize that happiness is a journey, you start to embrace each moment as an opportunity to cultivate joy, rather than something to endure until the next milestone. It's in the process of living authentically, doing things that align with your values, and nurturing meaningful relationships that happiness blossoms. You begin to see that each day is part of the larger picture, and each step you take is a chance to create moments of contentment and fulfillment. Happiness isn't something that will come to you once you achieve certain things. It's something you create through your choices, your perspective, and your actions along the way. Every stage of life offers opportunities for happiness, even during the challenging times. It's easy to get caught up in the idea that happiness is reserved for the good times, but often it's in the struggles and obstacles that we find the deepest sense of growth and resilience. These experiences shape us and give us a greater appreciation for the moments of joy that come later. Happiness comes not from avoiding difficulty, but from how you choose to experience and learn from it. When you stop looking for validation from others, you take back control of your self-worth. You begin to realize that you don't need anyone's approval to feel good about who you are or what you're doing. Your value isn't determined by what others think or say. It's intrinsic. It comes from within. You can choose to be proud of your achievements, to recognize your growth, and to honor your own journey without needing anyone else to acknowledge it for you. The pursuit of happiness isn't about reaching some final definitive destination. It's about finding joy, meaning, and fulfillment in the everyday experiences, no matter how small they seem. The little moments, the laughter shared with friends, the peace found in nature, the satisfaction of learning something new are where happiness resides. It's about learning to appreciate the journey itself rather than waiting for a perfect set of circumstances to align. Happiness is a journey, not a destination. Many people spend their lives chasing after a specific moment when they think they'll finally be happy, whether it's after landing the perfect job, buying the ideal house, or reaching some other external goal. They set their sights on this end point, believing that once they get there, happiness will magically fall into place. But the truth is, happiness is not a place or a singular moment. It's the path you walk, the choices you make, and the attitude you carry throughout your life. Unlock your happiness now. So often we wait for the perfect moment to be happy, when everything aligns just right, when we've reached certain milestones, or when life is free from stress and complications. But the truth is, happiness doesn't come in some future moment. It's something you can unlock right now, in this very moment, by shifting your mindset and embracing the present. This shift is empowering because it allows you to live authentically. You can make choices based on your own desires and values rather than seeking to please others or meet their expectations. When you stop looking for validation from the outside world, you start living on your own terms, which leads to a deeper sense of fulfillment and peace. It's not about ignoring the opinions of others. It's about knowing that those opinions don't define you. You have the power to validate yourself, to be your own biggest supporter, and to take pride in who you are and what you bring to the world. Happiness is not dependent on external circumstances or achievements. It doesn't come from waiting for things to be perfect or for a specific set of conditions to align in your favor. It's a choice. You can choose to be happy not by ignoring life's challenges, but by shifting your focus. Instead of waiting for everything to fall into place, start noticing the small things that bring you joy, whether it's a quiet moment in the morning, a conversation with a friend, or simply being alive. Happiness is all around you if you take the time to notice it. Unlocking happiness also means letting go of the belief that you have to prove something to anyone, or that you need to achieve more to be worthy of joy. You are enough just as you are. The pursuit of happiness is not about perfection. It's about acceptance and gratitude for where you are right now. When you stop focusing on what's missing and start appreciating what you already have, you'll find that happiness is present in the simplest of moments. In conclusion, happiness is something that is always within our reach, waiting to be unlocked in the present moment. It is not found in external achievements, possessions, or the approval of others, but in the way we choose to view and experience our lives. By embracing gratitude, self-awareness, and a mindset of acceptance, we can begin to cultivate happiness right now. The power to be happy lies within us. It's not something we need to wait for, but something we can choose to create starting today.